Today is part one on how you build a $50 million sales letter, at least how I did. I'm going to give you the exact formula today. I am John Benson, and this is Sales Copy Secrets. Welcome to the very first video in the series, Creating Your Own Sales Page. This is going to be part one, and I'm going to dissect my $50 million sales letter blueprint. Now, this is going to take place over a lot of videos, probably 10, 15 videos. So buckle up. If it's in the playlist, be sure to watch it right from the start all the way to the end, because this is going to be worth a lot of money to you, at least potentially. It's potentially worth a lot of money to you. It's going to help you if you're a copywriter, if you're a marketer, if you sell anything online. You need to have a long form sales letter for most products or services. So if you don't want a long form sales letter, you can take the elements in here and you can shorten them to make a short form sales letter. But I'm going to give you the entire enchilada, the whole long form direct response sales letter. These can be up to 6,000 words long. No kidding. Now, I'm not going to spell out every word of the 6,000 words, but I'm going to show you what I was thinking when I wrote each section so you can duplicate it yourself. Now, the best way for me to teach this is I'm going to log into CopyPro. If you don't have CopyPro, it is below. You should definitely check this out, because literally I could create this entire $50 million sales letter blueprint in about an hour and a half. And that's if I started with no data at all. If I started with some of our niche data, I could do it in probably about 30 minutes. So that's awesome. And that's totally worth the price of admission if you need a sales page. But just in case you can't afford it, not that it's so terribly expensive, it's not dirt cheap, but it's not super expensive. In case you can't afford it right now, I am going to break this down. Of course, it's going to be over a long period of videos. All right, so let's dive into this. What you're looking at right here on the screen is CopyPro, and I've already generated my $50 million sales letter blueprint. And I'm going to show you what I did here. So this does not come with headlines. So one thing I didn't put into this, because we have a headline generator. So I generated the headline generator and came up with all sorts of different headlines I can use. And what I did is I landed on these two. This one for the main headline, and this one down here, a hero's journey quote for the subheadline. So let's go back over to the sales page. I just copied and pasted it right in here. So we're going to start from the start. Now, this is nothing new. If you haven't seen my headline formulas, look below. These are right in there, except for the quotes one. I don't believe I did that one, but I'm going to show you how it works, and then we'll get on with the sales letter. So this is nothing more than revealed. This is an NLP term. This is something I want to break the attention. So this is like an optional open is what I'm doing. And then how you can obliterate your most stubborn fat, how you can goal without pain, how you can pleasure without pain, literally is what that is, how you can obliterate your most stubborn fat without giving up your favorite food. So this is going to be a very short headline. I went on to a subheadline. We invested more than 15 years to prove this works for any dieter. Now the verdict is in. Putting this in quotes looks super official, which is why I did it. I used we. I could have used I, but I used we. It's up to you. Invested more than 14 years. Now that's how long I've been doing weight loss consulting to prove this works for any dieter. Now the verdict is in. It's just a very compelling, super awesome, almost legalistic way to get a subheadline. Now, these are not the typical subheadlines. I break down a whole bunch of other subheadlines in my subheadline formulas down below. Check those out. There's a litany of them you can go through. All right, today we're going to start by dissecting the first 4 paragraphs of this letter. Openers are very, very important. Okay, I'm going to show you what I did here. I did a combination of things. First of all, I created a small pattern interrupt using the 3-question format. I think I've covered that before. If I haven't, I'm sorry. If I have, the video's down below. But I definitely have covered duality. And you're going to see that right off the bat. Duality is push-pull. In other words, something negative, something positive. And push-pull is what I used here. Are you feeling frustrated when it comes to your goal and something that's painful? Do you feel, I go into the feelings that they may feel that I know my customer, my avatar would feel. Those are both push, right? What if I told you that several clients of mine who read this very letter that you're reading now are benefit, okay? And this in CopyPro language is actually primary goal. In other words, the first thing they want to achieve, and secondary goals, the goals that come with what they want to achieve. So in my case, it's getting their youthful, sleek figure back, feeling 10 years younger. But look what I'm doing here psychologically. What if I told you that several clients of mine who read this very letter you're reading now, that's very believable. It's several. It's not like thousands of clients of mine, okay? I could have said that, but I wanted to maintain this believability and this kind of like small niche feeling inside of this particular sales letter that you're reading now. That's NLP, okay? And they're getting their goals. They're achieving certain goals. simply by leveraging the power of one new and revolutionary technique. This is very important. Now, I've talked about this before in videos below, the one principle. You don't want to ask your client to believe more than one new thing at a time. That's very, very hard for them to do, hard for anyone to do because we're all very busy. And this really cuts down the noise. I just want you to know this one thing. This one technique is what? Helping them burn their most stubborn pockets of body fat. Well, that's what they came here to do. That's what they want to do. It's one revolutionary technique. So this is a very attractive way to start a letter. Now, let's go into the next few sentences here. This is a very unique approach to weight loss that's turning struggling dieters into inspiring success stories. So there's a little bit of a hero's journey in that one sentence. So now I'll go from hero's journey, one sentence long, into validation. And I want you to look at how I'm doing the validation. If this sounds too good to be true, I get it. It's very smart to be skeptical. So I'm complimenting them for being skeptical right off the bat. I'm validating what they're feeling right off the bat, which is probably skepticism. Just let me ask you this. Would hearing more about this new method interest you if I virtually guaranteed it? Well, now I'm starting to whittle away at their skepticism, right? Keep reading NLP and you'll see exactly how they're pulling it off and how you can too. What am I doing here? Inclusion. I'm doing inclusion. They're doing it. And you can too. If they're doing it, you can too. You're going to see that theme repeated throughout this letter. Hey, they can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. They're doing it. I want you to be part of the club. That's how that sentence works. Okay. So plus, I'll reveal the real reason you're struggling. Okay. So I just talk about the real reason they're struggling. And that's what you're going to do here. So I'm not just going to reveal what they're doing. This is one new thing. And by the way, you do have one thing. If you've got a 5-step system to something, just talk about the one important step. That's what you can do. And then you can even say in the letter, look, there are 5 steps, but we're going to cover the most important one today, the one technique that breaks through. And that gets your customer to read further down the letter. Plus, this is where you can add on other things. I'll reveal something else. In this case, I talk about why everybody else is failing. It's the reason very few experts talk about, yet it's one of the most, any serious fat burner must get in order to succeed. Now I'm already priming right here. Priming video down below. You must get it. You must get this. Okay. So, and I'm calling them a fat burner. That is a self-identifying avatar. They probably aren't a fat burner, but I'm calling them what I know they want to be. I'm calling them a fat burner. Just a word of warning. What am I doing here? Really good stuff. Okay. You got to get this to succeed. You're going to see exactly how they're pulling it off. Warning. Warning, that's duality. You're going to see duality throughout this entire letter. Now, that's the opening part of this letter. What we're going to do is we're going to break this into chunks because there's about 20 or 30 chunks here. So I'm going to make it very simple for you. Next week, I'll probably do these right here. I'll break these apart so you can see exactly how I wrote it. And until then, what I want you to do is like this video if this was helpful. Do let me know in the comments if this is helpful. I know breaking it apart in segments is going to take a little bit of time, but if I didn't, this video would be 3 or 4 hours long. There's no way anyone would watch that. And I want to make sure you get this. I want to make sure that you retain this knowledge. So let me know that you liked it below. Ring that bell for notifications so that you can find out when new videos are uploaded, especially new videos about my $50 million sales letter blueprint, because I want to help you succeed. And not only that, I'm John Benson, and I'm here to help make you unignorable.